Welcome to the Sports on Prime. I'm Gary Al Smith, and with just a couple of days to go to the World Cup, Egypt have completed their second day of training after getting to Russia a couple of days ago.
We have just witnessed the second training session for Egypt in Grozny since their arrival on Sunday, and of course it was marked by Salah training separately. He jogged around the pitch under the supervision of the team doctor and also the fitness coach. He didn't kick a ball, or he didn't touch a ball at least, but he looked in a good shape morally. I mean, he was optimistic. He didn't speak to the media. He spoke the day before. He said he was progressing every day and he cannot promise to make the first game against Uruguay. We spoke to team director Ihab Lahita. He said the same thing. He said Salah is progressing well, and they are in constant communication with Liverpool, who are following closely the case of Salah, and they cannot confirm whether he will play against Uruguay or not. The decision will be made on the match day, according to the most recent report. So apart of that, the team looked very happy. The players were in good mood. They were kidding with each other. They were fooling each other sometimes. They are enjoying being in the World Cup. That's something that they never lived before. And it was a unique experience. It is a unique experience for all of them. Part of that, I believe that there are some signs that Mohamed Al-Shenawi may be the starting goalkeeper against Uruguay ahead of the veteran Hassan Al-Hadari. It's not confirmed, but there are some signs in the training. So it seems now Hector Cooper is preparing Plan B for Salah, because most likely he will not be available, because 3 days away from the game he didn't kick a ball. This is still not the best possible condition for him. So maybe Amr Warda play on the right, or maybe Trezeguet is moved from left to right and Ramadan Sobh has dropped to the left. We will see anyway how it goes. And tomorrow the team should have another training session, but it will be closed for media. That was all, Gary.
So, Amir Nagib Fahmy speaking to us from Russia there. We'll be having more updates on the World Cup minute. Meanwhile, the man in contention is Mohamed Salah. He's delighted with Egypt's qualification after 20 years of not being there.
We are back in the World Cup after 28 years. We are happy to have arrived here, and we should enjoy the atmosphere. I am personally doing well, and everything is fine.
Well, after getting to grips with the Salah in the Champions League, Sergio Ramos has been at it again. Could be a physical test for Spain against Portugal on Friday, but the 2010 champions have not lost a game in almost 2 years, the last being a defeat to Italy in the first knockout round of the 2016 Euros.
Meanwhile, Russia is ready for the World Cup, this time in 2014 with 3 days to go. Some of the stadia were not even done, but Russia is ready, and FIFA President Gianni Infantino is happy.
Greatest event on the earth.
Is everything in place? Everybody ready?
Everybody's ready, yes. Everybody's excited, everybody's ready, and we are looking very much forward. And the world will focus for 1 month on football. That's good news for the world.
The biggest stadium for the World Cup is the Luzhniki. It's in good shape to crown the champions when the World Cup finishes on July the 15th.
It's perhaps fitting that the world's biggest football tournament will have one of the world's biggest stadiums as its centerpiece. The 81,000 capacity Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow is the largest stadium in Russia and one of the biggest in Europe. It's also a venue well versed in staging major matches, including the 2008 UEFA Champions League final when Manchester United beat Chelsea on penalties. And unlike many of the stadiums being used for the World Cup, the Luzhniki has a rich history. It was opened in July 1956, having been built in just 450 days. The stadium became the main venue for the Russian national team and also the center stadium for the 1980 Moscow Olympic Games. But tragedy struck 2 years later when 66 people were killed in a stampede during a UEFA Cup match between Spartak Moscow and Dutch side Haarlem. as well as the Champions League final, the Luzhniki stage, the 1999 UEFA Cup final when Parma beat Marseille. Much of the original stadium was demolished in 2013 to give it a new look for the World Cup, and it became only the fourth venue to have hosted the World Cup, Champions League final and the Olympic Games. The others are Wembley Stadium in London, Romeo Stadio Olimpico, the Olympia Stadion in Munich, and the Stade de France in Paris, which will be used in the 2024 Olympics.
That's it for the World Cup Minute. The Joy Sports team will be covering the World Cup, and you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and also on radio for live commentary. Meanwhile, after 2018, there will be 2022 and 2026. That one, the 2026, will be decided in Russia a day before the kickoff of the World Cup. One big African legend is urging African federations to back the bid from Morocco.
This World Cup is a solution for Africa. This World Cup is a World Cup for hope. If you're talking about football coming from nothing, and the World Cup in Africa, I mean, like, is gonna be the big event. But in the other country now, you see how African people love football. Imagine the World Cup in Morocco. The continent need it, and like what they always say. Morocco is a place to be. People have to know World Cup is going to be always big things, but in Africa it's going to be the best event ever. Africa have to be together, first of all. And I think so, for the bid of Morocco, if we win that bid, it's going to be the bid of Africa, first of all. That's why we need all Africans. Now, they don't say yet, definitely they not vote for Morocco.
We are expecting the vote to be very close. It will depend on some details, and we can say that nothing is closed so far. We still have 24 hours of work, hard work, in order to make sure that every single camp can count more votes.
And that's it for the sport.